When I launched my online fitness business in September of 2019, I generated 22 sales calls and signed 11 clients. That was well over $10,000 in cash right out of the gates. And within the first 14 months, we built a multiple six-figure cash collected coaching business. And I want to walk you through exactly how I did it and really what led to that, I should say. So that way you could take some of these same puzzle pieces and start piecing them together for yourself so you can hopefully have very similar, if not better results. The reason that this happened though, especially right out of the gates, this like huge success, it was simple. It's not easy, it's simple. I'm going to explain. I spent 8 years building a name for myself in my local community. I want to be really clear and really transparent because everybody starts their coaching businesses from different places, different seasons of life, different skill sets, different character traits, different things that they have as like kind of tools. So for me, I spent 8 years in South Florida building a name for myself within my local community. I spent thousands of dollars promoting my fitness center via paid ads, via print ads, things like that. I spent thousands of hours networking and shaking hands with people. I had very little social media presence back when I was building my gym, but I still had a little social media presence, not a lot. I had like an audience, I would say maybe of like 100 to 200 people in my local area who trusted me. And so when I started posting regularly around September 2019, it took about 3 months for my content to start generating leads. A lot of how I got my clients right out of the gate was through warm outreach and through one post. For me to start getting consistent leads, like people who, like, shall I say, didn't know me at all yet, that took around 3 to 4 months. So in January 2020, when I started posting, like pretty consistently, I would say like September was like a post or two. That's how I got like client and warm outreach, just reaching out to people in my local community. I was really consistent, like right at the start of COVID 2020, started posting. April 2020, I got my first few leads and some new clients coming in that didn't know me yet. That was outside of the 11 that I had signed up initially. And I knew going in though that this was going to take a lot of work, patience, and consistency. Like I knew right out of the gates, I got that first 11 and I was just like, all right, this is going to take a little bit of work. So for months, I spent time building relationships, building skills, and building trust. Every post, every comment, every conversation, relationships, skills, and trust, they take time to build, right? We know that. You don't get it because you want it. And this is where I see so many people, they're like, I want it. I'm setting my goals on it. That's cool and all, but you need to cultivate it. It has to be earned. This is earned through consistently showing up even when you're feeling discouraged. And listen, I had 7 to 8 years of experience as a trainer and coach, meaning at least I thought, and this is my perception of myself, very humbly speaking, that I was freaking good at helping people transform. I had a lot of results for people, a lot of them. I was like, I'm a good coach, but I was completely new to posting content on Facebook, at least using it for business. So it took me 3 months to land my first mid-ticket client. This was like $750 for 90 days. And then it took me 5 to 6 months to land a higher paying client, like $1,500 for 90 days, what I'm considering higher paying. And then 9 months to build a program with 25 people in it. 9 months it took me to get to like about 25 clients. 12 months to land 5 quality leads in 1 week. So I remember like the first time I was like, holy crap, I like 1 week. And then 13 months to land high ticket clients consistently. 13 months is what it took to get people consistently coming in. 14 months, I started making 1 month's income in 1 week. And this is where things started to really take off. I had to build a reputation because I didn't have much of one outside of my local community. So I had to build a reputation, skills, and an audience that trusted me. I had to build a following that would be willing to spend at least $3,000 after one call, because that's what we ended up getting our online fitness coaching program up to, is around $3,000 to $3,500. So this took time. So many people just start posting content. They don't see results after a few months, and then they stop. They get inconsistent, and then they go back like a few months later and they start posting again for a few months, and then they stop and they get inconsistent, right? Or even, let's say even take a different extreme. I see a lot of people that they're just trying to be so omnipresent. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram, they're on Tickety-Tockety, they're on LinkedIn, they're all over the place. And so they're so distracted that they're not actually optimizing one platform. I see this as well, but that's a whole nother story for a whole nother day. For the whole starting and stopping thing, I mean, it's like if somebody's trying to lose weight, right? And like they're freaking going and working out for a little bit and they're like, oh, I'm not seeing the best results. And then they stop and then they're like, 3 months later, they're like, oh, I'm still a fat bastard. I gotta go lose weight again. And then they try it again and then they don't get results. And the same thing happens with a lot of business owners, right? They expect leads and clients immediately as if it's Amazon Prime delivery. Speaking of, my doorbell just rang. I think I got Amazon Prime here. Let me pause this video and go, I'll be right back. No, but that's how the world works, right? It's content and information right now is a commodity nowadays. It's like, I used this analogy the other day, but if I was out in the street and there was diamonds everywhere, like I wouldn't want to go to the store and spend diamonds. Like my 7-year-old daughter Ava, she just turned 7. We went and got her ears pierced. And we're looking at these like little diamonds. They're like $99 for like a little diamond for a 7-year-old. And I was like, holy crap! Imagine if they were everywhere. They wouldn't be able to charge that for diamonds. It's the same thing is true with like content, with coaching programs. It's like you want to be able to charge a lot and you want to be able to get leads and clients coming in regularly. You've got to build the skills. These are going to be skills like copywriting, like how to take your words and turn strangers into customers. Speaking on camera, how to communicate your message in a way that deeply connects with your audience, that captivates their attention, and their attention. Sometimes I get a random freaking like Southern slang accent. I spent a lot of years up near Panama City, North Florida, Alabama area, and so like I just get this like random like Southern slang. Anyways, speaking on camera, you want to be able to speak in a way that connects with people, that captivates their attention, and that ultimately creates demand for your stuff. Storytelling, how to use timeless storytelling principles to be able to influence another human being and inspire them to take action. And there's many other skills like high ticket sales, there's coaching, there's delegation, there's leadership. And when you build these skills one by one, you stack them brick by brick. The way I like to explain it, it's kind of like a puzzle, like a puzzle pieces, right? For sure. But like Legos, like you're building bag by bag by bag by bag by bag, piece by piece by piece by piece by piece. And this is what ultimately starts to build a successful business. And as I alluded to, you've got to hone your message in a way that deeply connects with people. A lot of people create this like very bland message, or they're copying somebody else and their message is like super commoditized, where it's like, I help in the weight loss space. It's like, I help busy professionals lose X amount of weight without doing dieting or cardio. I'm like, join the freaking crowd. So does like half the internet. And like, you got to hone your message in a way that actually speaks to people on a deeper level. And in fact, I just did a workshop inside the In-Demand Coach for my students, my one-to-one clients on this. And so if you want to be able to see that workshop, just either comment down in the comment section, just say client attraction workshop, or shoot me a DM on Facebook or Instagram and say client attraction workshop. And I'll go ahead and hook you up with the recording. But this is a really powerful thing that you've got to be able to do, at least from my experience, to be able to separate yourself from everybody else and do that. And then I'll give you some little tidbits here. So to hone your message, you want to understand what like people's deep pains are. What are their symptoms, their present moment things that are happening? What are the things that they're complaining about to like their friends? You know, if they go out for a couple of drinks, what are they complaining about to people? What are those undesired feelings that they don't want? What are they embarrassed by? Like, what are the private problems that they're even afraid to tell people? But you know, what are those private problems they have? What are they doing? What are like some of their secret desires? What are some of their aspirations? I mean, we can get really deep here. And again, we go deep in the workshop that I have. What are some of those like, when you can get a layer deeper than most of your competitors, it's going to be way easier to stand out online and to be able to get people coming to you. Developing relationships, right? DMing people to build a relationship before trying to sell them anything. This is absolutely key. I see a lot of people just spamming DMs, and anybody that likes their content, they're like, hey, you liked my content? Hi. It's like, whoa, desperation screaming around the corner. Like, no, actually take time to build relationships with people. Like, be helpful. Like, send relationships and actually be a human. And before trying to sell them something, actually try to see if you can solve their problems. Like most people that hire me, like I will like send them Loom videos, literally solving like a little problem for them. I'll have them jump on a brand audit with me and I'll literally give them free value without trying to pitch them a thing. Sometimes building relationship, it takes more time, but like it creates more sales in the long run. Create unique positioning so that your audience starts to perceive you as different. So unique positioning, again, I go over this in the workshop that we did, the client attraction workshop, but unique positioning so your audience starts to perceive you as different. And so part of unique positioning is really being able to understand what your audience's current beliefs are right now, what problems those current beliefs are causing for them, and what new belief you need them to believe in order to take action. And when you could do this, you position yourself as differently because you're speaking to their current beliefs, you're creating a gap for them, and you're helping create demand for a new identity. This is going to position you completely different than anybody in the market. And it's relatively simple to do. In fact, any great author does this. Like every great movie does this. Every great movement does this. And it's relatively simple to do. It's just understanding and applying the communication frameworks. That's it. And then having a unique solution, like being able to name a unique solution so that the market's like, I don't know, I haven't tried that thing. And it could be the same as what everybody else does. The reason why most people don't get results, as you and I know, is because they don't actually stay consistent with things and they don't actually do it. So it's like, we just got to get people to see like what you're doing is different. And maybe it is, maybe it's not. We have to get your audience to perceive it as different so that they take action. And then lastly, just show up and put in the work. Like once you're working on some of these things, show up and put the work, and like the results will come. They will come over time. One more thing I'll say on this that I didn't add in there was that like in order to build a successful business, you just have to be clear on like what that looks like for you. It doesn't even have to be like crazy. Just have some clarity. Like I knew going into my online business initially that I wanted to build a coaching program that had 100 clients. Like that was my goal. And so at any iteration of my programs and of my career, I've always had a clear kind of vision, very simplistic, like I want to make X amount of money or I want to have X amount of clients. And then from there, you step back and you're like, what skills does that person need? Like who does that person, like what character traits is that person showing up as? So to recap, how I've done it and how I've seen every successful person that I've coached do it is they get clear on their goals, then they reverse engineer that into projects and skills. So there are certain projects that we give to our in-demand coach students. We have a whole roadmap on that. And I'm happy to show you the roadmap. So I'll do a whole video on roadmap maybe coming up. So let me know if you'd be interested in seeing the whole roadmap to getting to 50K per month cash collected. And if so, I'll go ahead and do a video on the roadmap. But you got to be able to build the skills. As I mentioned, there's many skills, but there's copywriting, speaking on camera, storytelling, high ticket sales, coaching, delegation, leadership, the skill of focusing, the skill of being consistent, consistency, like doing the same thing over and over again, despite boredom or discouragement. There's being able to hone your message, get deep with your message and be able to communicate it in a way that deeply connects with your audience, that captivates their attention, and that ultimately creates demand for your stuff so it converts them. Developing relationships. Get out there and like focus on how you can serve people, how you can solve people's problems, not just try to sell them something first. Like actually try to solve their problems, because it's really easy to book calls. It's really easy to generate sales because people want to be helped. Like people are looking to be helped. So go out there and actually help people, and you're going to find it's way easier to sell people because they want to be sold when you're helping them. And then create unique positioning so that your audience starts to perceive you as different. Then you show up, put the work, and the results will come. All right, my friend, if you found this video helpful, make sure you click subscribe so you can get more videos like this. As always, remember your message matters now more than it ever has before. Don't be afraid to speak it. Be seen, be heard, and be impactful.